Yo, it's Ika here. I got this idea, well, I stole it from Wolf Click, um, and pretty much I was like, why not do the same thing for BSS? So if you don't know what this is, you can generate tier lists, and I thought I'd do an item tier list for BSS because I'm kind of bored, pretty much, and I was curious where I'd end up placing some of these as I go along. I literally just ripped this off the Pokemon database. I'm going to definitely check this if I don't, I'm not able to, actually remember the item. I didn't put like completely useless items. Well, I should have put Absorb Bulb on, but I didn't put like completely useless competitive items. So like you could hold like an Awakening or something, but we know that does nothing that will go in the beyond F tier. Everything that I put at least has some like theoretical competitive usage, and hopefully I've got it in alphabetical order. So this is the Adrenaline Orb. I think that kind of just increases your speed by 2 stages if you're hit by, if your stats are lowered. So like if an Intimidate Pokemon turns in or something like that. Almost nearly always useless on in all the BSS tiers. Unfortunately, there's always a better item you can use. Okay, we'll put it in E. It's like not the worst thing ever, but most of the time you're just not going to be able to get it off. There's only like a few main intimidators in BSS. Well, there's one big one, which is Landorus and Salamence. Those are like the traditional big ones. I guess you have Incineroar and stuff like that, which also intimidates, but that's generally less common. So you're gonna definitely struggle to get this off consistently, and even if you a +2 speed, which is great, well, +1 speed, which is good on like certain speed tiers, it's no +2 speed, and you could definitely run better items which kind of don't have a similar effect but do that like same baiting thing better. This is the Figgy Algrove. I put them all in one. Figgy Algrove, Wiki, Mago, and Iapapa, the Papa Berry S tier. They've been good in every single generation. They're still excellent in Sword and Shield. They were good on like any fat Pokemon can just like live back from 25 HP, especially in the old gens before they nerfed it. Like Figgy, those berries would give you 50% back, and so like your Tapu Fini was living forever. Your Snorlax, especially with Recycle, was living forever. So these Pokemon were just really busted with this berry. This berry is like one of the main reasons why Snorlax was so obnoxious in Gen 7. Just super hard. It makes bulky Pokemon even bulkier. It's a good thing for the game, in terms of that it stops it being from completely dumbly offensive, but no doubt they're very strong. Ebloon, I'll give it a solid B tier. There's only like a few Pokemon that would ever run it. By the way, I'm like, obviously like stuff like Heat Rock is like useless on 99% of Pokemon, but I'm just going to talk about how good it is for Ninetales, let's say, or for Torkoal within the BSS metagame. So yeah, pretty much Ebloon on Heatran it can be very good. A Pokemon that really like, mostly it's used for very few Pokemon. Excadrill and Heatran are kind of the main two that you'll see it on most likely. Just because those Pokemon can actually put in a lot of work with their one turn that they don't get hit by a ground move. So for it's definitely niche because those Heatran loves to use other items, as does for those Pokemon, it can be very good in the right situation, especially when your team maybe doesn't have a good Earthquake switch in or something like that. You can kind of patch up that weakness. Well, I guess we'll put it in C and see where the rest of the tier list. Assault Vest, that's in S as well. Assault Vest has been great since its inception in Generation 6. It's pretty much, you know, you can only use attacking moves, but you get 1.5 times special defense. So stuff like it's just excellent on to check special mons. So Assault Vest, Tyranitar, Heatran are big ones. I guess the thing is this item could be used on a lot more Pokemon than it is. So I'll put it in A for now, just to differentiate it. It's not as good as 50% berries, but it's definitely excellent. So if we were to look at, like, let's say Gen 7 for example, I'm just gonna go to it's annoying that you have to go through Crown. It's like, what is it good on? It's good on Lando, it's good on Celesteela. I mean, it's niche on Celesteela. It's good on it's actually alright on Snorlax, alright on Lele. It has a lot of uses. Heatran is excellent on. Exeggutor it's good on. Mamoswine it's pretty good on. So it's like a good on a lot of Pokemon. I think it's not the preferred item of most Pokemon, but it's like definitely like an option for a lot of different Pokemon. So like, I'd say out of these, like, none of these Pokemon like using Assault Vest as their first item, and I'd say that's the same in Gen 6. I mean, Gen 5 it doesn't exist. In Gen 8, yeah, you could, like, there's a lot of Pokemon. I say like in Gen 8, it's definitely up there, but it's not the best. It's not top 5, but it's like Assault Vest Lapras, Assault Vest Snorlax are definitely things that are very, very strong. So like maybe AV Lapras is like the one and only thing in Gen 7, 8 as far as I can think of, that is like running Assault Vest as standard, and even that can run another broken item. This one here. I haven't put Blunder Policy in as well, but Weakness Policy I've definitely put in. This is the Babiri Berry, or just in general like Resist Berries. Yeah, they're very good. They always have, they're like, the thing is you have to use them in the right circumstances, so they're not like I should slap this on every single team. Whereas I think you start getting to the point with 50% berries that you should be slapping them on most teams when you have the option to use them. By the way, here I'm just referencing using them when they were like pretty good. So like obviously 50% berries were like not very good in Gen 5, but yeah, I'm using the 6, 7, 8 buffs. Yeah, this always has a niche. For Gen 5, you're looking at stuff like Pashu Berry on Tyranitar, for example, to counter Rain, or Chople Berry is a very big one on both T-Tar and Excadrill, which helps them really do their thing. Haban Berry on stuff like Latios. I'm trying to think. Shuka Berry is another big one. It's always been on like even like Gen 7 on Tapu Koko. Ochre Berry on stuff like Ferrothorn. So it's always had its usage. I don't think it's quite as good as Assault Vest actually. Assault Vest is something that's always been like really good. And then I'm trying to think of other examples of different resist berries that have like had a lot of play. What's the ghost resist berry? This is gonna bug me. The ghost resist berry, Kasib berry has been used as well. I've seen it on Age of Slash and stuff like that. It's also a pretty good berry. Babiri, of course, being used in Gen 8 a lot, particularly on Mimikyu in Trick Room. Yeah, this item is situationally good. Of course, you have to predict the right moves to come in, but like, yeah. So, Absorb Bulb is trash. Binding Band is trash. Basically, these items don't really do much. Yeah, if you're trapping stuff with like Whirlpool, which you can do in certain gens, so you can trap situationally in Gen 6 and 7 with like a Parish Trap strategy. Yeah, you by the time you've trapped them, you pretty much you pretty much like have you don't need this with Parish Song. Absorb Bulb, you'd rather have that, right? This right here, or leftovers. Black Belt, or generally the 1.2 times attack items. Yeah, they're good. Kind of here as well. I'll change the names of them. This is good. This is very good. This is Brook. Oh, it should call extremely good. Good, situationally good. Ooh. Situationally good. Okay. Yeah, bad. Trash. So yeah. By situationally good, I mean they're like very good on few Pokemon in few circumstances. Good is like they're generally just like there's nothing wrong with slapping them on Pokemon. Yeah, just very good. You know, I look at Gen 7, like not much would use it. In Gen 8, Mimikyu could use like Spell Tag. But like when you're using them, they're like pretty good. The plates, like you always, the classic one is Gen 6, the fairy plate. I can't remember what it's called. The fairy type plate used by Sylveon. Yeah, you can use like yeah, pretty much they're only situationally used, but like when they're used, they're okay. It's pretty much, let's say, it's better than Balloon in a lot of circumstances, because it gives you kind of the boost that you want on like your main move clicked, but without the drawback of Life Orb. Well, Life Orb 1 reveals your item, but 2 also the damage that you give to yourself. Black Sludge, yeah, it's extremely good. It's situationally used, basically only used on Toxapex. So like, what makes it like less than broke is that I mean, Toxapex is fortunately not broken. But yeah, it's actually better than Leftovers theoretically because of the trick situation. You don't have to, you know, your opponent will lose HP when they trick you, as often happens to pets. We could like Leftovers. I think these are just extremely good items. Very good on certain Pokemon. So Leftovers, for example, like it's so good on so many Pokemon. Good on Tapu Fini. It's not the best item on Tapu Fini. Good on very good on Celesteela. Very good on Aegislash. It's okay on Snorlax. It's good on Snorlax in Gen 8. I'm just using Gen 7 as a baseline to like just look at Pokemon. Good on Ferrothorn, good on Heatran. Like some of these Pokemon, it's definitely the best item on. Like extremely good is kind of like you start to get to a situation where this is the item to put on that Pokemon. You know, even if you have the choice of any other item you could put on. And then yeah, what makes broke is just that the item is just stupidly overpowered. As well as being the best item to put on, it's like just the item is game defining. Well, not game defining, but like it's just like so very strong. Situationally good. Bright powder. Where do I put you? It's somewhere between here and here. It's definitely not bad. I'll put it okay for now. It's there's only a few Pokemon you'd consider using it on, mainly minimizers. You like minimize Starmie. You can use Bright Powder on. Another one is Garchomp in Gen 5. You can use Bright Powder on with the Sandveil, but I still think that Leftover's better on Sub Double Team Chomp, just because you get the HP back and the general recovery. I think, yeah, pretty much you're only using this on Minimize Starmie in Gens 5 to 7. It's very niche, other than in Gen 5 where Minimize Starmie and Minimize Chandler are actually good, because there's no Z moves and shit like that. Well, no Dynamax. Chesto Berry, I put Chesto. All the other like burn, you know, like if you were to a Roast Berry or whatever, Cherry Berry, all of them are bad. You'd never want to use them, or trash. You never want to use them. Chesto, however, is different because it wakes you up and means you can use rest, which puts it in the situationally good. So it's good in Gen 5 and Gen 6 to an extent, particularly on very fat Pokemon. Suicune is the main use for Chesto. It's probably not Suicune's best item. Maybe in Gen 5 it's Suicune's best item. It's hard to say. But in Gen 6 and 7, yeah, it stops being used as much in Gen 7. In Gen 8, it's good on Snorlax. But any item is good on that Rokas Pokemon. So, yeah, situationally good, for sure. It's better than Balloon. It's better than Balloon. But it's not as good as these items here. Not as widely spread. Yeah, you're only using it on like... Yeah, you'd only ever use it on Snorlax, Suicune if it's down here. Cresselia you can use it on. Yeah, that's it. So it's like you're only using it on 2 or 3 Pokemon. Choice Band. Band I think is extremely good. Scarf is broke. And Specs is... Let me have a look at this list. Specs is broke. Specs is better than Band just because of the like difference between physical and special attacks. Band is still extremely good, so I'll talk about Band first. Band is just very good on like just generally hard hitting Pokemon, breakers and stuff like that. So like in Gen 7, for example, thinking of good banded Pokemon, it's hard because a lot of the physical attackers are not like, you don't really want to run band on them so much. Banded Cartons is alright. It's not as good as Scarf. Banded Drill's alright. Banded Mammoth is alright. Yeah, Banded is like kind of like, it definitely has its use, and it's Banded T-Tar is good actually. But I think it's a bit overshadowed by Scarf. Banded Bulu. I think despite the fact that Bulu is not very good, Band is like pretty good. And then like in Gen 6 it's a bit better than in Gen 7. The reason it's better in Gen 6 is because of Banded Talonflame is very good. Because it gets the priority Brave Bird. Once you start getting Pokemon with priority, the problem with Band is like the lack of speed control. So like once you get priority on Pokemon, so like Banded Extreme Speed from Dragonite in Gen 5 and Gen 6, and Banded Talonflames, Brave Bird, which obviously is affected by Gale Wings, then it comes from this tier into this tier. So like the old gens is where it really shines, I think. I'm just adjusting my microphone. So yeah, Band definitely an excellent item. So I think what else is really good on it. Have a look. I'll keep that list open, and then I'll have a look at Gen 6. I have Gen 6 and Gen 5 opened. Really unprofessional of me to not open these tier lists at the same time, you know. But that's how it be. So yeah, I definitely think this is better in Gen 6 and Gen 5, the older gens. Yeah, it's hard to use Band in Gen 8. It definitely has a few Pokemon that is good. We got a really long post to read later. Bandage, it's like alright. It's good on Darm, but I think Bandit Scarf is better. Yeah, I think it's hard to use bands. Like Dracozolt is definitely good with band, as is Diggersby and Cinderace. So it's like not as good in Gen 7, not as good in Gen 7 and Gen 7, which is why I put it a bit lower than Specs and thing. I'm looking for the Gen 5 tier list that I posted, just to say a reference points. Yeah, and past discussions thread. Yeah, because no one actually posted a tier list before, so I decided to post one. So like S rank, Banded D-Knight is definitely X. This Pokemon is a menace. Banded T-Tar is pretty good. Banded Sizzle is definitely a very good one. It's actually pretty good in Gen 7. Funnily enough, regular Banded. So yeah, I call it extremely good. The different Scarf is just, you need a Scarf on every single team. In fact, Scarf is better than the Bulky Bears, because you need it. You almost need one on every single team. Sometimes you can get away without it. Like if you have like a Dragapult in Gen 8, yeah, you struggle to not run a Scarf. Like most teams will have a Scarfer. I think just having speed control is so important. Top Scarfers from this is Gen 7. Top Scarfers from Gen 7, Greninja, Lando. Part of what makes these Pokemon good is also they're amazing with Scarf. So Gren, amazing with Scarf. Lando, great with Scarf. Tefini, amazing with Scarf. Super underrated with Scarf. Obviously, Mimikyu doesn't need Scarf because it runs has Disguise, so it can revenge kill without Scarf. That's part of what makes it really good. Obviously, Salaman's mega Pokemon. Other great Scarfers: Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, fantastic Scarfers. More Lele than Koko. Scarfloom is alright. Scarf Tran is great. Scarf Chomp is great in all 3 generations. In fact, it is the premier Scarfer in Gen 6. And the standard set on Chomp and Lando as well is Scarf. Scarf Talonflame, not really. Scarf Rotom's always been good in all gens. So like this is always good in every single gen. Scarf Drill, excellent. Scarf Togekiss is underrated, but Scarf Rotom forms are very common as well. So Scarf Hydreigon, yeah. There's so many things that teams that like want Scarfers as speed control for threats, because that's just the way BSS is. Yeah, I'll talk about Specs. Specs is probably the worst of these 3 items, but it's still better than Assault Vest. Specs has always been great in every single tier. Gen 7, Specs Gwen, Specs Feeny, these are both excellent mons. Specs Koko and Lele are arguably like Specs Lele is like wraps the whole Gen 7 metagame around it. Spectran's surprisingly good. So is Specs, Naga, and Thunder. Those generally you're not running that. Yeah. Specs is really good item on the Pokemon that are special attackers. You can always slap on the Specs, and like surprise Pokemon. Yeah, even Specs is even used on Thundurus. Even though it has like such prankster utility, Specs is used. I forgot Bandit Azumarill in Gen 6. Really good Pokemon. Yeah, Specs Rotom is like, that's just commonplace. Specs Gren, really good. Maybe I'll put Specs at the top of A. It's not quite as good as these. Yeah. Extremely good. Brook. You don't have to have a Specs user on every team. Specs is very good in, actually no, Gen 5 puts it over the edge. Gen 5 Specs is just absurd. This tier list might be a bit outdated. Maybe I'll put Latios here. Specs Kingdra. Latios just run the meta game alongside these Pokemon here. Really good. They're just like, it's so difficult to deal with Specs in Gen 5. Politoed also can run Specs, as well as Heatran. Most of the special attackers can run Specs in some capacity, other than Volcarona is not running Specs. Thundurus can run Specs. I could run Specs, especially Thundurus T tends to run Specs as well. Just hit super hard, and though gems are existing, you can use Specs attacks multiple times. There's another resist barrier to Chopple. Put it up with Burberry is good. Custap, situationally good. Main things I'd see Custap on sturdy ones with like Custap Explosion, so like, but most of those are meme picks like Gigalith. But Custap is like the best it is in. It's best in all gens, I think. So like in Gen 5, you can run like a lot of Custap shenanigans with Prankster Fund. Politoed runs Custap sometimes for like 1v1s. Yeah, a lot of submons. Slow submons, but slow mons that are very fast or very bulky mons that are very slow. Run it. So like Metagross can run Custap, very threatening. Custap Explosion in general is like kind of threatening. It's not as good in like these gens. Like none of these Pokemon run Custap, really. Nor in Gen 6. Like, I mean, nothing running Custap here really outside of like a meme set. So yeah, and then yeah, same for Gen 7, I think. Yeah, none of these. When Custap came out in Gen 7, it was kind of hype, but like, yeah, outside of the random boom Gluttony Snorlax, which is kind of a funny meme, nah, you're not having it. Icy Rock, it's the worst of the lot because Hail's not very good. And on Hail settings, generally you're running a Alolan Ninetales in Gen 7, and then you're not really running Hail in Gen 6. In Gen 5, you're running a Abomasnow, and on those, you want Light Clay on your, or Sash on your Ninetales, you want Scarf or Sash on your Abomasnow. So this is not in trash tier, because theoretically you could run a Slushers team. Whereas these really don't have any usage. In fact, we'll call this very bad. Very bad. Okay, meh. Mediocre. But gems, when they're around, they're extremely good. Mainly, this is mostly it's Gen 5. Gems are very good. Sometimes you get normal gem and stuff like that in newer gems. But yeah, pretty much, yeah,
nearly everything you can run gems on. Just they're strong. Like even Conk you can fight in gem. Dragonite, the Dragon Gem especially is obnoxious as hell on all of these Pokemon. Water Gem on Suicune, Electric Gem on Thundurus. So yeah, gems very good. Actually, for the tier they were broken. Dragon Gem mainly is just silly. On stuff. Electric Gem on Fun, not so much, because Fun has better items that it can use. I'll put it in A, but I'll just put it at the top of A. I think it's like even better than the Assault Vest is on its Pokemon. Z moves, yeah. This is S. I'm Brook at the top of Brook. Yeah, if Dynamax was here, it would be above Z moves. It would be. This is probably the. Yeah, it's probably even better than Scarf. For I'm only rating these for the gens who are in. Obviously, you don't have these gems in. Most of these gems in Gen 8, so I'm not rating it for lower because it's just not in Gen 8. Yeah, Z moves extremely obnoxious. Need 1 to 2, ideally 2 on every team. That's all you need to know. Yeah, most obnoxious ones off the top of my head. Z anything on Greninja, just dumb. Mimikyu Z or Ghostium Z, yeah, stupid. Wartaeum Z on Taffafini. I guess Ghostium Z on Aegis Balance. Psychium Z or Phytinium Z on Taffalele. Good lord. But yeah, these three are the worst. These three. In fact, I'm glad they got them lined up together so I can see them. Yeah, Z Draco on Nadal, Z Electric or Z Fighting on Fund, and then any Z that Volcarona decides to use. Like these, it transforms them into hard to deal to Pokemon to like really hard to deal with Pokemon. It makes their threat level so much bigger. Because they have Z moves, and like even stuff like Rotom H. Rotom Heat is probably mostly good because of Fire MZ. And yeah, it makes Pokemon like extra better as well, technically. So yeah, Koro and Z. Let's run. You always like there's always random ass Z moves. The thing with Z moves is like it's not just that they make a move really stupidly powerful, but like that allow you to break through. But they also, yeah, they just can be any type. The seeds, good. They're not as good as the resist berries actually, but they're better. Yeah, they're here. You do see seeds mainly electric. In Gen 7, they're a thing. With like electric terrain plus like, I mean the obvious ones like Umbud and Halucha, but like you can run terrain teams without that. Examples like let me look at this list of Pokemon that use seeds. There's not actually too many. Maybe I should put it a bit lower, but it is situationally good. On certain Pokemon, you can kind of run seeds. Yeah, I'd say like stuff like Halucha, is the main ones. I forgot Keyberry. Maybe I'll put Keyberry in. Keyberry is actually very good. Yeah, but Keyberry is actually very good, which I haven't put in. Maybe it's situationally good. It can be used on some like cheese picks. Umbird and like Driftblim and stuff like that. Halucha are like the main ones that you see on like cheese teams. Can definitely work. It's not as good as Chesto. Chesto is solid. Eviolite single-handedly gives certain Pokemon viability. So like on this there's nothing here because none of Type Null is single-handedly given viability because of this item. So is Corsola. Not that those Pokemon are amazing, but if Chansey was here, oh boy. So Gen 7, you can have a look up. Chansey right there. This one only good because of Eviolite. A Porygon 2. Oh my lord, this mon is just broke because of this one item. Is Porygon 2 better than Specs? Who knows? Perhaps it's better than Specs. It's not better than these berries, but like, yeah, Porygon 2, like, and it's like good in all gens. There's always some abuse of this. I mean, actually, Porygon 2 again. Chansey. If they put Chansey in B, that's a crime. Chansey should be at least like B plus, if not A minus. Stole is really good in Gen 6. Don't let other people say otherwise. It is good. In this gen, like Chansey, there you go. Chansey's right there. You can even run it on Why Not. Wolfet's under evolution. Yeah, Type Null is also like one that uses it. Dusclops in Gen 5 can use it. Don't think if there's anything in like B minus or oh, this is Gen 6. Even still, for alligators there. Yeah, I'm just looking through this list. Yeah, but if I like for the Pokemon that is on is just really broke. Mainly Porygon 2 is the biggest menace, and Chansey is the other big menace. You'd say, oh shit, like the Blade is also situationally okay. No, it's just Chansey and Porygon 2. Expert Belt, yeah, it's around here. It's just super effective version of Black Belt. So if you hit something with super effective move, pretty good on stuff with like good coverage. Yeah, you're not going to use it that much because often you'd rather run a Life Orb or something that's like gives you like a higher amount of damage, but it can be good situationally. On just to slap on a Pokemon with decent coverage, like something like Greninja could easily run this. Protein for no problem. Nidoking, if it didn't have Sheer Force, would run this. Flame Orb, it's very good. It's good. Actually, Flame Orb is bottom of extremely good. The reason Flame Orb is because of Gen 5. It's not very good on many Pokemon, but the Pokemon it's good on, oh boy. Conkeldurr, amazing on Flame Orb is amazing on Conkeldurr, and it's good in Gen 5 and it's good in Gen 8. Yeah, it definitely deserves B plus rank. It's also good on like niche Pokemon, like Reuniclus is actually pretty good on because it stops you getting like put to sleep or T-Waved, and you can like trick stuff. You can play Trickman games with Sableye as well. But yeah, Guts Pokemon it's very good on. And yeah, there was a time when Flame Orb was at the top of the meta game, so you gotta respect it. That's why I put it in the bottom. It's extremely good. Floatstone is trash. I don't even know what it does. This is trash as well. It's just 2 luck base. Focus Sash, however, is it better than Scarf? Is it better than these berries? Yeah, it's better than Scarf. It's like, oh, it's so, these two are so close. But yes, Focus Sash easily broke. Need one on, you'd like one on every team. It's like if you have 6 items, you must choose. Well, you violate if you're choosing one of the Pokemon that uses it. You need to choose. You need to choose it. But like other than that, yeah, I'd put like if I had to run 6 different items in Gen 7, I'd run these 6. Actually, no, I'd run Life Orb. Maybe Specs should go up down here. Yeah, I've changed Specs to here. This Flax Incense. Oh, this is like the slow, but it's not as good as Lagging Tail. So it's completely useless. Mega Stones, yeah, Mega Stones are also S. They're not as good as Z moves, but they are up there. Yeah, some of the most broken Pokemon in existence. You'll need a Mega on every team in Gen 6 and 7. You can run no Mega teams, but like they don't. Any top team is gonna have both of these things on. It's probably gonna have Sash and Scarf. And then yeah, beyond there you have these items which are like very often on. So like yeah, I can talk through all the Megas, but I don't really need to. Look, these two are the best in Gen 6. Gen 7, look at Salamence, look at all these Megas here. So yeah, Grip Claw, not very good. I think this is Heat Rock. How good is Sun? Oh, that's Damp Rock I was talking about. Damp Rock is situationally good. Heat Rock is mediocre. We'll put Heat Rock is slightly better than Icy Rock, which is where I put Icy Rock where I explained it was. It's better than Adrenaline Orb. But yeah, Damp Rock, it could be good on like Swampert teams in Rains in Gen 6 and 7. Of course, completely useless in the Weather Gen. But yeah, you might use it. You know, I prefer other items, but like yeah, you can use Damp Rock. Pelipper or Politoed. This Heat Rock is like kind of even. Nah, Heat Rock is very bad. Iron Ball. Yeah, it's mediocre. It's actually better than these. You can use Iron Ball on certain things if you wanna go slow. Iron Ball Aegislash, funny enough, is something I used in Gen 7. And you can use Iron Ball on Trick Room as well. But yeah, it's not very good. There's often better items to do that with. Jaboka, it's situationally good. And all of these, well, no, Jaboka is the only one that's situationally good. It's like has a very niche use in Gen 5. That's all I say. King's Rock, I have to say, I watched Wolfie's video and he said King's Rock is mediocre, but he is wrong about one thing, that King's Rock does have a multiplier to flinch, and that is your boy Cloyster and its Icicle Spear, which is quite obnoxious. Okay, it's not as good as Chester. That's what I'm talking about, but it's better than these. King's Rock can be very annoying when used by that one Pokemon. Yeah. So there you go. It does multiply with one thing, which is Skill Link. Lagging Tail, situationally good again. I will go put most things in situationally good. Actually, you know what? This is not. You'd rather run Sash on a lot of Cloisters, or even Life Orb. So yeah, situationally good. This is also mediocre. Lagging Tail. You can use some trick strategies that work with Lagging Tail. These are like strategies that are rarely used. And even then, like they situationally work in matchups. So yeah, trick Sableye, tricking Lagging Tail, and then you can kind of like spore shit with Breloom, say. That's just an example. Or trick Lagging Tail from Thundurus. Mainly practice Pokemon use it. And they can start like beating up Pokemon. It's just cheese, really. Life Orb. S. Top of A. No. S. Thinking overall, Dynamax really like this Gen 8. In Gen 8 it is like broke. So, and in Gen 5 it's kind of broke. you know, in Gen 6 and 7, it's like decent. It's decent. It can work on certain Pokemon. Life Orb Gwen's very good. What else is good with Life Orb? Fund is like pretty good with Life Orb. Mamos can be situationally good with Life Orb. You'd rather have Sash. Life Orb Clefable's always been a threat. So it has its Pokemon that it's very good on. So yeah. I'd say like in Gen 8 with the way that Dynamax works with it, it's definitely broken. So I'm putting something that's broken in that particular gen. I'll put it in there. Life Orb's like the second best item in the game. Or something like, no, okay, maybe like top three items in the game. So like anything that's top 3 in the gen, I'll put it in here. Light Ball, I think this is Pikachu's signature item. Unfortunately, Pikachu is trash, so this item is... No, it's good for the memes. It actually does power. Light Clay, however, good. It's good. On screeners is good. It's better than... It's more consistent than these. Oh no, maybe it's here. It's the best of these. It's Lucky Punch. Yeah, you can run like, if you're Slurm, you can run Screens Espeon in Gen 7, but like Screens Tapu Koko is definitely a thing. Even you can run even Screens Mamoswine, or Screens Rotom, which is a complete mish. Gen 6, like, yeah, you can definitely run it. Generally not running Light Clay. Screen Superior is also one that's worth noting. Yeah, Screens is definitely not as good in Gen 6. It's not that good in Gen 5. You can run Espeon is one that you can use. Raikou is probably the main screener in Gen 5 if I can find it. Yeah. That's where I put it. Yeah, I put it around there. Gen 8, it's definitely better. Because you have Grimmsnarl, which is very good at screen stuff. Not that you're running Light Clay on Lapras with the Aurora Veil. Yeah, I should say also Alolan Ninetales is another one that can run screens. So yeah, it's good. I put it situationally good. It's not quite as... You know what? It's as good as Expert Belt. It's not as good as these like plus moves. Lucky Punch is a meme. Barangaberry, this is surprisingly like here. This is like, I think it's Barangaberry, is the one that gives you special attack when you're low HP. Pretty good, pretty okay on like shit like torrent boosted ones basically. It's like Greninja can run this instead of a Z. So why wouldn't you not want to run the most broke item in the game? But yeah, situationally good. Metronome, now people know how it works. It's mediocre. It's not as bad as these items because you can spam attacks versus Storm. Maybe use Metronome, Mamoswine, or something like that. I guess it's very bad. What's this? Misty Seeds. These are all with the other seeds. Muscle Bands. Nah, run one of these items. Papaya. Is that papaya? Okay, what was this berry then? Oh, this is the Spadef one. No, the Spadef one is good. This is the special attack one. The Spadef one, Moringa, this is Papaya. Papaya is the special attack one. So that's the one you might use on like something like Greninja or something. Moringa is very good on Corviknight actually in Gen 8, which is why I put it there. Yeah. If I can find the Sun Shield, yeah. This one is very good on. Do not sleep on this berry. I guess situationally good because it's only good on Corviknight. Male, you know what? It is actually Male, by virtue of not being able to be knocked off, is actually better than a lot of these items. This is the official Male, by the way. The Male sprite in game. That's Professor's Male. Protective pads. Where's safety goggles? Oh no. Safety goggles is not here. Safety goggles are actually okay. Protective pads have trash. Yeah, I've never seen protective. I've used protective pads, so I guess I'll put it in very bad. I'll use this as safety goggles. Stand-in. Safety goggles is situationally good. It has one use, which is to stop breathing from spoiling your face. In like Gen 6 and Gen 7. If it was around in Gen 5, it'd be a lot better. But in Gen 6, Gen 7, yep. And Sleep Talk often does the same thing. Like you can run Band with Sleep Talk. One thing that makes Band like pretty good. Gripping Claws, like it's the same as Bind and Ban, right? Red card basically makes your attacker have to switch. The opposing attacker have to switch out after they attack you. Oh, where's eject button? Eject button is actually situationally good. Red card, yeah, they're both situationally good. So if I haven't got eject button here, eject pack is rubbish. But eject button is actually situationally good because you can eject button like top specs into like, well, it would be like Gothitelle. But red card, yeah, it's okay. You'd only run it on very fat Pokemon, so maybe like it's mediocre. It's better than Male. Let's put Male as a fact. Rocky Helmet, extremely good. Up there with these, not as good as Ban, but better than this. Rocky Helmet is very useful in Gen 6. Gen 6 is probably the best Rocky Helmet's ever been. It's also good in Gen 5, actually, with specifically on Thundurus, the mascot of the Vesper Rocky Helmets. But yeah, you see this Pokemon here, Mega Kangaskhan? This Pokemon's broke, so you just run Rocky Helmet on every single defensive mon in A+. So Crest, yeah, you're running Rocky Helmet. Suicune, yeah, you're running Rocky Helmet. You can even run it on Rotom. You can run it on Lando. Yeah, you could run it to a lesser extent in Gen 7. Still running it on Lando. You can run it on Hippo. It's another one that you can run Rocky Helmet on. So it's like situationally good in Gen 7. In Gen 5, it's also situationally good. In Gen 8, it's kind of useless because of Dynamax on non-contact moves. But yeah, definitely Rocky Helmet is extremely good in 5 to 7. Is a staple in 5 to 7. It's you will see it on like one in every like 3 teams, 1 in every 2 or 3 teams in Gen 1 in every 2 or 3 teams in Gen 5. You'll see it on practically every team in most teams, like 1 in every 2 teams in Gen 6, like then maybe 1 in every 4 teams in Gen 7. So it's definitely worthy of that. Slack, I think it's like, yeah, it's better than Pattaya. It's better than Jaboka. It's better than Custap because it's permanent. Custap is like, you have 1 turn, so it's mostly explosion you're running it for. Shed Shell, situationally good again. Only really use it on Blissey or Toxapex. On Stall, and Stall is situationally good. Come on, mate. That is the right spelling, I think. What's this? Shed Shell? It's the worst leftovers. Citrus, however, put this boy up here, is good. It's not extremely good because these Barrier 6s, but Citrus and leftovers exist, so it has a lot of competition. But it's good when you're already like, you need more recovery than leftovers, but you've already got like, or you know, it can surprise some people when Bulky Berry. I'll put it at the bottom of this. Smooth Rock, it's with Damp Rock. Good on, it can be good in sand teams. Toxic Orb, it's just straight up good. On the Pokemon that is good on, it's good. There's only two. Gliscor needs Toxic Orb. Breloom, which at least in old gens it can run Toxic Orb and some obnoxious like sub-spore sets. Yep, Toxic Orb is just straight up good. Weakness policy, you know, Gen 5, 6 and 7 it was here. Gen 8 however came along, now it's here. Dynamax plus weakness policy, that's all you have to say. In older gens, it was, you could run it on stuff like Aegislash, actually. You could run it on Rhyperior, but those Pokemon were nowhere near as good. Yeah. You can't run it on, it doesn't exist in Gen 5, so you couldn't run it on like Multiscale Dragonite. It'll be a lot better if you could. White Herb. Yeah, I guess Shell Smash White Herb. Do you want to have, you'd rather have Sash than White Herb, but you can use White Herb. Yeah, that's the main one you'd use, or maybe White Herb Superpower. It's like, it's better than this stuff, but it's mediocre. This Wide Lens is very bad. What are these like? I don't even know what these are. There's some glasses, man, at the bottom. Wise glasses. Oh. Rip. And zoom lens. Zoom lens I didn't even put in because it was that bad. It's as bad as Yellow Scarf. But yeah. Wide lens. Trash. So there you have it. There is the tiering of all the items in BSS and where they go. The only reason that weakness policy is not higher up on this list is because it's not broken multiple generations. Actually, we'll put Eviolite here. Life Orb is, yeah, it's only good in Gen 8. That's why it's there. But its peaks do out peak Eviolite. And there you have it. And that's my list. Like, subscribe. Nah, fuck it, don't do any of those shits. Just share the video with all your friends. Just keep tuning in, and perhaps I'll put some more videos out there. I'm just like I'm tired of actually playing the game, but so I won't be playing any BSS for the next like at least 6 months. I might just retire completely. I mean, I have said I'm retiring, and I'm not playing the next tournaments. I just need a break. But yeah, you might see like a monotype equivalent to this. Who knows? There. Anyways, enjoy, guys.